What's up, guys? How you doing? My name's TB, and today we're going to be talking about episode 56 of My Hero Academia Season 3, and this is the conclusion to the first part of the Hero Provisional Exam test that they're taking right now. And it's so cool because so many things are happening in this episode. Just bear with me as I explain it all, because they're really all over the place. They're trying to figure out, who's going to win and who's not going to win, and they're going back and forth between the perspectives of the people here. But first, we start off with the Ketsubutsu school, the school that Miss Joke is, in charge of. We have Yo, I was about to call him Ayo. We have Yo right here in the beginning, basically just showing his true colors. Of course, his intent at the beginning from splitting up UA High School was to make sure that they're not allowed to use teamwork. He thought that he had them all pinned down and that he could take care of them quickly because he knew their quirks from the sports festival, but it didn't work out that way. But he didn't see that as a failure. It's funny, when he's talking to Tatami and the rest of his crew there, he's like, it doesn't matter that we don't get UA because we created this situation now where everyone's fighting and they're paranoid and they're worried about if they're going to pass or not. And UA isn't the only team that's getting split up. Other schools are getting split up as well. So he's taking this opportunity to prey on them while they're distracted, and you just see his face, man. He goes from a pretty nice, a pretty boy face to this, it's serious, we getting down, I'm going to take some people out. Not kill them, of course, but you know what I mean. We'll come back to them later, because now we move on to the fight with Bakugo, Kirishima, and Kaminari there. It's cool because Bakugo learned a new move. We saw before the test started, he learned AP shot, right? The armor piercing shot. We just saw a singular laser though. He was shooting through his palm. He's using it as a cannon now, and this is so smart. You see a little bit. You see soon here why it's so smart. But I love the fact that he does this because he's starting to use his quirk smarter now. He's just not going up and blowing up people in the face. It's not a singular shot. He's using it as a cannon, and he does that to totally destroy all the flesh attack that Seiji's throwing at him right here. Because Seiji's basically of the mindset of, if you're representing your school, you need to be dignified. You need to be honorable. You need to be this and that. And of course, Bakugo, the way he is, he doesn't give a crap. He doesn't give a crap. All he cares about is winning. So he's trying to prove a point to Bakugo and everyone in UA that you need to make sure that you actually properly represent your school as well. They don't care. But Seiji actually manages to grab Bakugo in the back, because before they even got out of the elevator, he sent out a piece of flesh back there so they wouldn't see it coming. It grabs Bakugo, but before that happens, Kaminari shoots something that's part of his suit, his new suit that he got from Power Loader and Hatsune. We haven't seen it yet. He was about to show Midoriya before everything started, but it didn't work out that way. He shoots it, they both hit the wall. Bakugo gets turned into a mound of flesh. It sucks, but right before that, he throws him something. We found out that it's a little grenade he uses later in the fight. We get a little bit of more perspective on who Seiji is. He's part of the Shiketsu High School, I believe, and his quirk is Meatball. Apparently, he can mound together his own flesh and throw it, but when it touches other people, he can only throw them into a little ball. Maybe he'll be able to make his quirk better in the future, but that's a pretty cool quirk. You need to watch out for him. You need to fight him at long distances, because up close, it'll be really... He could do both, actually. He could do long distance and close distance. You need to watch out for his quirk. But basically, that's what he can do with it. Kaminari starts talking about how he didn't appreciate being insulted by this guy. Basically, since last episode, the end of it, and the beginning of this episode, he's just been insulting them. And he doesn't even know who Bakugo is, so he doesn't really have the right to make fun of and assume things about people when he knows so little about them. He throws a grenade, which catches him off guard, puts him in the correct position for his new way of attacking using his quirk, which is basically whenever he throws those little discs, if he's within 10 meters of range of it, he could shoot his electricity in a shot without making him go dumb, without making him go stupid. Because previously, whenever he would use his quirk, he would hurt everyone around him, and he would hurt himself to the point where he just got dumb. And you see Seiji's face; he's completely affected by it. He has this this flashback to when he was talking to Hatsune and how he wanted to make his quirk more effective, more useful with his new suit, the modifications that would help. And we find out that even though his quirk can manipulate a certain amount of people, you see all the people on the ground, you see all those mounds of flesh, Seiji took them out and they were just all laying there. If he sustains a certain amount of damage, the quirk gets undone. So of course Bakugo and Kirishima, they because they're really prideful people, they're really strong. They undo the quirk, and Kirishima punches this guy in the gut, and then Bakugo blasts him in the stomach. You see his face, man. He's just totally surprised, and he's taken out. Of course, he's KO'd. He's knocked out. But then all the other students start to get up too, and this is what Bakugo's planned. Kaminari's like, oh my gosh, there's other people that were here as well, and Bakugo's like, yeah, I know. These are gonna be our points. We're gonna take people out like this. So that's great. Now we switch once again to the UA students that made it last episode. Momo, Sue, Jiro, all of them. They're all there. They meet up with Todoroki. They talk a little bit about what's been going on. He's been there first, and then you see also Inase's reaction, to him seeing Todoroki and his friend show up, but Inase hasn't seen his friend show up yet. It's funny. He's like, where are my friends at? They need to be here. Again, they switch because that's resolved, Bakugo, obviously, and his friends, they're going to make it. Momo and her friends, they made it. That's a couple people from UA High School already that made it. So they switched to Midoriya. Zero comes out of nowhere. He's like, dude, you gotta jump with me, carry me right now and jump with me. Don't ask any questions. So he does it, and then their plan that's revealed is Ochako and Zero taped together some rocks, and then they made it really light with Ochiko's quirk. When everyone was coming after them, she dropped that crap, man. She dropped it on them, and it was weighted because of the rocks, but also Zero's tape was holding them down, and this is what allows them to pass. It was Midoriya's plan from the beginning. He didn't know how he wanted to make it happen, but basically he wanted to make himself a distraction. Everyone follow him, and then they all get trapped, and then they have enough, because you need 2 people each. They got a good amount of people. You need to take out 2 people each in order for yourself to pass. After that, something crazy happens. I didn't think that this would ever happen. I mean, ever happen. Bakugo and his team meets up with Midoriya and their team, and then they're all happy, they're all dancing like, hey, yatta, yatta, we made it. Bakugo says, oh, you finally made your quirk your own, your borrowed power, you've made it your own, and it's not surprising that you've passed. This is the first, whether it was like an actual, like genuine comment towards Midoriya, like he praised him. He's like, good job, sort of. This is the first, ever since the first episode of the first season in the anime. The manga, I don't know. Bakugo has been so, hesitant to say anything to Midoriya that wasn't, you're gonna die, or I hate you, or you're disgusting, or just some vile crap. He does not like Midoriya. Ever since he got his quirk, he's been low-key jealous of him because he thought that he was going to be better than him for the rest of his life. But, this is the first, positive thing that Bakugo has ever said to Midoriya. And you see Midoriya's face. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. He's finally, acknowledging him, at least a little bit, in this little way. Whether it's sarcastic or real, but it looked real. You see Bakugo's face. It seems like he was being sincere. So that's cool, man. That's cool for Midoriya. That's good for Bakugo. Obviously, they still have some things to work out, but this is a step in the right direction. After that, we come to see a few of the other UA students that are left behind that haven't passed yet. There's only like 15 spots left at this point. It goes down gradually as the episode goes. But Ida happens to find Aoyama. Aoyama's just chilling out there. He's like, what are you doing over here? And he's like, well, I wanted to be like my brother. And for me to be like my brother, I need to go around making sure everyone's okay. And if they pass, it's fine, because that's part of my dream, the shape of my dream and who I want to be. I want to make sure I help everyone around me and then help myself. And then Aoyama thinks a little bit about what it means for, him to pursue his dream. They don't have too much time to think about it, though, because people start coming after them right away. And Ida's a good friend, man. Aoyama would have got taken out a while ago if he just left him there. You see him, he's about to get attacked. He pulls him away by his cape. He's running with him, dragging him behind like he's some sort of ragdoll. We got a little clip of Mrs. Joke's class. They all passed, of course. You saw the position they were in the beginning of the episode. Of course they were going to pass. So we got Shiketsu High School, we got Ketsubutsu High School, and we got UA. Those are the 3 main focuses of the high schools this episode. Pretty sure they all passed. they get to a certain point where Aoyama's tired of running. He's tired of Ida doing everything for him, and he's like, I'm gonna do what I want to do, which is I want to be considered as an equal. That's his shape of his dream. He uses his naval laser to shoot out, and I don't know if he thought that this was gonna work on purpose, but like, he had his reasons for why he did this, and it ended up working out. Because what happens after that is Koji uses his quirk. We barely ever see him use his quirk, to be honest with you. Besides like the mundane stuff he uses it to do, like to talk with birds and whatever. But he uses this to bring all these pigeons to the field, right? He brings them all there. It blocks everyone's vision. On top of that, we see Tokiyami use dark shadow there. He uses that also to block everybody, to blind everybody. After he does that, it's basically just a steamroll. Every single person starts coming out. We got Tokiyami, we got Koji, we got Mina there. She's basically explaining, the fact that they appreciate what he did, even though he might not have been knowing what he was doing. They didn't know where everyone was. Everyone was scattered. No one knew where anyone was. But when he uses the naval laser, they allowed them to pinpoint his direction, and everyone sort of came together. And you see Aoyama here. It's sort of like a nice background shot. Everyone's fighting around him to make sure that they get people out. Because now they're all together. They can work together again. You see a nice shot of Mina too. She's like upside down. She's about to get this guy in the head. And you see one of the other guys, the guy who does sugar rush. He eats the sugar, and then he's able to get buff. You see him. You even see Mineta there, and he's just throwing his grape brush. He's throwing his balls, like to the point where like he's bleeding. He's bleeding out. A couple people smack some people on the ground, so they get stuck with Mineta's balls. And very quickly, you see Cammy there. You haven't seen her since she met up with Midoriya, but you see Cammy. She gets someone out too. Very sneaky there. Very sneaky right at the end. She was the last person. There was I believe there was 11 people with Midoriya, Bakugo, and Momo's team, and they needed 9 more people in order for all of UA to pass. All of UA passed, and Cammy. For some reason, all of Shiketsu High School made it except Seiji. And, even Anase, you see Anase is upset about that. He's like, what? We failed? Man, that sucks. But that's pretty much the end of the episode right there. Everyone in Class UA, all 20 of them passed. It's ridiculous. I didn't expect for all 20 of them to pass, to be honest with you. I expected for a couple to fail, but they all made it. I don't know any other high school where every single person, in that class passed. Well, maybe Ketsubutu High School, maybe them. At least the ones that we were introduced to, at least Tatami, Itajiro, Maccabi, and Tatami. They all made it. We see the preview for the next episode, though, is that I think it is probably, it's probably Midoriya's favorite thing to do, which is basically rescue. I think all the students that were left there that didn't make it out in time are going to be the people that they need to rescue. You see the buildings blowing up and stuff like that, and you see Midoriya's face. He's like, this is what we got to do. He's excited. And I'm excited. This was a good episode, man. I am so glad that everyone in class 1A made it, all 20 of them. And it just proves, it further proves everything that Eraser said last episode, that they're at Class 1A and UA is different because they stick together, and obviously Bakugo and Midoriya influence everyone else in a good way. So the episode was really good. Really liked it. Again, I'm excited, man. I really am excited. I need to check how many episodes are left of this season, because I don't know if they'll be able to finish this arc. They should be. They should be able to finish this arc, and then we probably won't get another season until next year. Man. Oh well. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know what you guys thought about this review. Give me, your comments, whatever you want, man. I just like the interaction with you guys. And I'll see you guys next week. Have a good day. Bye.